All right, guys, let's get started. How we all doing? I appreciate you jumping on, Thomas. I was actually thinking of you. Uh, because I saw some currency pairs that I think, well, I think you saw them as well. But yeah, there was some good price action, and we'll go over them. Other than that, this week's been fairly quiet for me. I know I had no entries. I did set some limit. I set some limit, but this week really was no, there wasn't anything. We've had a lot going on. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Uh, we had some good fundamentals, but Tuesdays and Wednesdays they were the big major ones. This here was key. We saw some nice movement happening over during Asian session here. Um, and yeah, that was pretty much it. And that I want to say that's the end of the month as well, because when we look at next week, the next couple of days is just going to be quiet. We've got bank holiday, and then this is just the last. Hold on, give me a second. The last, yeah, the last day of the month. We just got some moves, but that's pretty much it. And then next week we do get F. I think we get. No, we don't have FOMC now. No, we've got jobs opening on the Wednesday, and then we've got NFP on the Friday. So that should be interesting. To see what happens with this. Hopefully we get some pullbacks because let's go over AU and NU first of all because we did get a break, but no pullbacks. So here on the redistro, we've got a break that we was looking for this week, but we hopefully next week we can get some pullback coming into this that's holding the leg, and then we can go down with this. Okay, um, with with NU, it's the same thing with NU as well. So we got this low, and NU's kind of got a slightly cleaner price action, meaning we've got our slingshot and we've got our mitigation candle. So this is what this area here will be looking for some shorts. But when I looked, there wasn't anything that I could backtest. So I'm gonna leave that pair for next week once obviously all the big major moves happen. Yeah, cool. The one that I wanted to get into today was, so first of all, let me just bring up and I know Thomas got that one as well. Let me bring up UJ because I feel like UJ was a clean one and it made sense. Um, there was two entries, one I looked at and one Thomas. Obviously, you mentioned that one as well. But it was pretty much around here, right? So we've had, just to give you a quick idea of what it was. So we've had this. Let me. Okay, so originally we got this break, which means this is what this was holding, and then we've had this as the slingshot, which price does come back up into. We do get a nice distro, but the one thing is we failed to make a low, right? So we failed to take out demand. Demand is still in control. Okay, and then so all this does is price comes and then we come back into demand where we get a bullish order flow and then we stay bullish. Okay, now let's drop back down. Okay, price comes up there a second time. Okay, so if you had reasons to believe, like, to go, if you had limits or anything like that set, you would have been in, and you would have obviously been profiting from that. So price would have given you enough of a reason to go to reduce risk, break even, pay risk, and secure profit. Okay, you've had enough time and enough volume and enough price action to do all of that. And then you could have also got into the hedge, and the hedge was pretty much just order flow here. So this is the last point, the last reaccumulation. Inside we could see the accumulation that is holding the bullishness. We can see price coming here, couldn't go below this. And then so this was our first entry. And then actually from that 80% comes into this. And then I think it was up here somewhere, where we've had another reaccumulation, I want to say. So there was actually 3 entries, where all they would have given you a 10-to-1 risk to reward on that. So yeah, so that was a good one. The one I want to go over, let's go over EJ. Okay, right. Let's see if I need to change anything. Okay, cool. So EJ, we're actually being maintained low time frame from here. Okay, we could see we've went and we made this break, and yeah, as I said, so we're maintaining the lower time frame from here. We can see this is our last slingshot. So this is our reaccumulation. We can see the attempt to accumulate here. That goes and then makes a new high. Oh, the one that I was looking at was actually the order flow leg. So we know we're bullish, and we could see that price has made this break here. Essentially, this is what's holding our leg, our order flow leg right now. And this is obviously the slingshot. Now we've traded through that slingshot of order flow, by the way, and we're maintaining our bullishness. So we're bullish lower time frame. I'm not gonna go do the other time frames for now because this, as I said, is an order flow trade, and we are bearish order flow. So we've started our retracement, but then we've got bullish order flow leg coming up. Now, when we see what price action did over here, this is where it got interesting because let's just go back to here. So we could clearly see the shakeout in this reaccumulation. Let's do. Okay, there's our shakeout. Okay, so when we get this price action here this week, so we know this is holding our entire leg. You could look at this now. I would personally look at that if that did that. Okay, like if you had a liquidity grab here, then I would have paid attention to this. But because it didn't do that, I know then we have a chance of going below the Asian price action and then actually coming into what's down here. So let's actually look at what's down there. Okay, so we know we've got some imbalance. Let's go back some more. 2 minutes. Okay, we've got a clean accumulation actually. So we get an accumulation actually at the end of New York, at the end of London crossover, which is a bit late. So this is our break. So this is what we needed to break. And then, okay, we get that break here. So essentially we've got this whole leg here. There's 50%. And then I want to say maybe there's an imbalance in there, right? In 2 minutes. Yeah. The 3 minutes is also nice as well. So we know we've got an accumulation. The accumulation actually holds the leg, and we've got imbalance in there that also needs to come and be filled. I quite like that 800. I'm gonna make a mark, and I'm gonna see if we come back into that 800 leg. So 148, 800. Okay, and so at this point, there's nothing I can do. I'm gonna have to wait for the break. Let's come up here. Okay, so we got a break, right? Now we could actually go ahead and place a limit of reduced risk. So if we were to do the whole thing like that. Okay, so that's why 80% is at. Now you could have placed it here, but I know that's actually gonna be a bit higher. Yeah, so that's about 20, 23 pips. So I'm actually gonna wait until we start to get the pullback. So when we get the pullback, for example, then I can get a fib and then I can see what exactly price where we are. So I'll rather wait, but at this point we are good to go if you want to. Okay, so for me the pullback has now started. I can now do from the high to the low. Okay, we get slightly, so again it's the same area, right? So we're still looking around here. This is our bullish extreme. We're still looking around here, but I'm actually gonna go and just place it here. That's about 15, so that's all right. Because we're looking to target this high, which would give you a 7 to 1, and then again we're looking to go up into here. Okay, at least so that's where the second major volume will come up, and then of course we're gonna be holding partial to go and make a new high because we're bullish on that. Now we will be taking a majority just before that, simply because as I said we did go and then we make that break here. So we don't know if price can come up and then go down, make a new leg to actually come down into lower time frame extreme. We don't know if the continuation is still valid, i.e. this was just a shakeout and then we go and we make a new leg and then we come back down like that. We don't know. So you could take your partials here, take partials here, and then even if price comes around and then claps you up at a break even or secure profit, then at least you paid your risk, you've taken partial one and partial two. So that's the game plan going into this. And to this major one, it's a 15 to 1. So that's valid for me. Now we just have to wait. So and then in terms of risk, so for me this is going to be an order flow risk in total, but I'm going to split the order flow risk. So I'm going to have a 0.10 here in total, and I'll put 0.05 on the limit and then 0.05 on the accumulation that I will see somewhere inside my blue box. And then that's what I'll do here. So let's just say because my backtest journal was 50. So 50k 0.05, and that's what it's saying. Cool. So that's where we are. And so JP1 50 0.05. So go about $25, and then we've got 0.23 lot size on here. Okay. So now where we are. So this is Tuesday. This is Tuesday. So ideally game plan is to we have some Asian session, and then we get that London pop, get a break, and then we're looking for something like that. Okay. And where am I going to delete this order? I'll delete the order once we make this new high. So for example, If price does that and then never comes down here, and then we just turn around, we go here, that's where I'll go and I'll delete that. Simply because we could come up and then come back down and like do something like that. And then this is still valid. It's just that it took its time to get there. So I'll delete it. I would have an alert here that says delete order. If I'm not in, and then I would have an alert here that says order has gone. And then another one here that says look for buys. Okay, cool. So let's drop back down and then see. So we're currently also around that 50% mark. Okay, so we're around that 50% of the leg, which is valid for us to look at something. And this is actually looking pretty cool. This is a good price action I would like to see. We get a break, price comes back down. But I'm gonna treat it as if I missed this simply because I have missed it, right? I should have had the timeline from here and then watch it happen. But now price action has already happened. I'm gonna try to be fair on this backtest. But yeah. Okay, like this is so this has happened. I'm not gonna try and cheat. Cool. So for me again, the only thing I'm waiting for is for price to come lower or come up here. And if it comes up here, I'll be deleting this order, and then we'll be watching right back into this accumulation to go up. Okay, so we get Asian session. Okay, now Asian session has gone and it is new low. So now again, order flow is being maintained by this. So this is what we need to break. Okay, so and then this is okay, so this is Frankfurt, and we do get a break. Okay, now at this point, I'm actually quite liking this because I actually see this in our second phase. So if I was to move this like that, and then not worry about this limit, because remember this limit is there, so then I don't feel, because when I found out that, hold on, I found out that when I have a limit on half risk, the fear of missing out doesn't really come in, because then I know I've got the limit here, so I can pay attention to to the price action that's happening in front of me, and not worry about a shakeout, for example. Because then I know this is the line in the sun. This is where my limit is. So yeah, push that limit there. That's my backup plan. But for now, we're looking at this, and I quite like this as an accumulation. This makes up our trading range. Now, I'm gonna see if we can, the plan is to see if we can get another move down, something like that, to give us that type 1. But again, but again, we don't really need to get a type 1, right? We could just get a type 2 where price comes into here and then we get that move. Okay. So let's see. Oh, okay, so we're in that second phase now. This is our secondary test in phase 3. And now, so again, we broke that. So this is what we now need to wait on. And at the same time, so this limit has activated me, okay? Which this would be reduced risk at this price. So reduce risk, and then we come back into here. This would be our re-entry opportunity. once we make that break. Okay, so we break during Wednesday. So reduce risk here. Okay, so let's do this. We have, so remember we've got, I think we've got $25 at this, right? So we threw $25 at this, and then we'll be reducing it down to, let's put, let's put it around 3 pips. Okay, and I'm gonna bring up my calculator. So 25 times 3 minus 25. So we just saved 20. Saved $20. I'll put it $20. Okay, so that's what we say. We got $20 in here, and the risk is we got $5 at risk. Risk $5, and we saved 20. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now I'm actually gonna look inside here, and I'm gonna place a limit here already. I can see there's some imbalance, so that would be good if we can come back and we'll add at 30. We'll add at 31. Okay. So 31. Gonna hop off on this one. Okay, cool. All right, man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Okay, cool. So this is where, so we've got that here, and we've also got that imbalance sitting right here as well. I'm going to delete that mess. Okay. I think I'm gonna go with that phone. And then, so that's another 15.7. And again, we're looking for here, and then eventually we're looking for that. So that is also a 10-1. So that's pretty cool. And again, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do, so $25 plus the 20 that we've saved, which is $45, is what we'll be risking here. Percentage wise, that's just of 0.09. But remember, if this breaks, right, and this goes down like that, we'll be down minus 25. Okay, because we've already saved 20 here. Hold on. So we've got 45 plus 5, so that's 50. Then we've saved 20. So we're down, yeah. Okay, cool. Now we just have to wait. So for me, I would delete this. If we traded through this, okay, because this would be active if we traded through that, and then we do this, and then do that. Okay, so the next higher up, not this one, because we don't need to come back straight away. We could go and then come back and then go. Okay, but I will delete it if we break this and then fail to come, like for example, we come here and then we go up, or we don't come down at all. We just do that. Then I'll delete it as well. Okay, so where we are Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we've already come back, and we've come back into the open of it, right? No, I don't really think we will come back. And this is around 11 o'clock on a Thursday. Um, I will still leave it because obviously this is I'm asleep right at this time. I would see what we do when I wake up, which would be like London time. And that is okay down here. So London, we're coming down, and let's see what we do. And again, if we at this time, if we do this, like if we go above this and definitely above this, I'll be deleting this and I'll be taking paying my risk here. I should have said at this time as well, like before I go to bed, I would have gone to break even on this. Okay, gone to break even on that. Okay, yeah, so that's it. I'm deleting that one. Okay, so I'll be deleting this, delete this. We'll still leave that. That's our point of interest there. And yeah, definitely got to break even here, and I'll be paying risk here. Pay risk. So that would be 25 bucks that we've risked. Reward, I'll just put 25 bucks, and risk is at 0. Okay. I would also secure profit at the same time. So what I'll do is this was I-15, wasn't it? The 800 level, we never came down to it. Okay. Uh, okay, cool. Where we at? Okay, cool. So yeah, sorry, yeah. So we secure profit, maybe something around like $3 just to cover the swappage and commission and whatnot. So we'll secure profit like $3. Okay. Now so the game plan pretty much is back on in a sense of any sort of pullback into ideally now into here. That will be the best. That will give you the best R&R, but also somewhere around here if you can get that. And I would accept some sort of shakeout because I know there's some liquidity sitting there. So let's see. So where we at? This is Friday now. Friday London open. No, pretty much nothing. And this is where we are now. Okay, it's cool. And we have not tapped into here, but your 10-to-1 is here somewhere there. Okay, so let's just say we close this out at 10-to-1. TP1 10-to-1. And what we'll do, we take 25% off. So we're currently sitting around 25252 26 times open 25. So we've got 6306. Okay, risk, secure profit. But the secure profit we we can't really take it just yet because the secure profit would activate once we hit break even. And this is TP1, 10 to 1. Yep. Okay, and that would give you a total of, let's just do 63 plus 25, 88. 88 bucks so far. And that's what this looked like. I'll drop this in the chat as well. Let me just alright, cool. So that was EJ 10 to 1 from this week. The other one I want to go, let me just, before we do that one, let's do oil, because oil had a very similar story as well. But I want to say maybe it was a missed entry for some. Okay, cool. So with oil, I've been looking at this, I've been following this. I want to say, yeah, since we've had sort of about March. I quite liked it, especially the fact that we got this booth here as well. And we came down. Now this, I'm not entirely sure what this is. This did happen overnight. So I'm not sure what this is. But nonetheless, yeah, so I'm not looking at price action from here. I'm looking at price action from here, deep inside. So this would also be an order flow one, but the market cycles was there, right? So let's look at this. So we know we made a high here. We've reaccumulated inside. We've made a high, and we can clearly see this. There's our reaccumulation. Okay, we know that this is holding. Do I have any others? Turn it on. In a sec. Oh no, okay. Not. Okay. That's our bullish leg. That's our bullish leg. And that's what's maintaining our leg, right? So essentially this is our point of control, because if we go below here, then we know we're back to bearish. Okay. Cool. Now looking at this, now that we found our leg, we now need to find our point of interest. We know somewhere down here is our extreme, and then we know down here that's our slingshot. Cool. So before we look at our extreme, you could have gone and placed a limit. It's up to you, but the play for me was again somewhere here, and especially what was inside it. I like the price action. Look at this, very clean. See a 5 minute maybe. Okay, so we've also got. Yeah, there you go. So this is the candle. This is the 7 o'clock candle. So this is Frankfurt open right here. no sweep, all of this, and then off we go. Cool. So that's what's in here. And now you could have tried to like play in so many other ways, but essentially came inside this imbalance here. Right, I tried to fill up this imbalance. Now I think 50% would have got you in, or shy of it. No, it wouldn't. So that's what I'm saying. This would be a misentry right here, and even down to where we are now, it didn't accumulate as nicely as I would have liked. But the price did make a move from there. It's only like 2.8% move. But this was the other one I wanted to go over simply because again we had clean market cycles. We could see the attempt to distribute, to de-distribute, but then accumulate to go back up in here. We can see the reaccumulation to get price to get more orders in, and then off we go. And then here as well, the process kind of repeats itself. We can see the distribution, we can see price coming down into here, and we can see some sort of attempt to stop that sell off. So yeah, that's that. That one was short. But we'll see next week what actually happens in here. Do we get a better draw on accumulation, or does price go through that and then come into our extreme and then we do that? Okay, we don't need it now. Let's go back to G-Show. So G-Chef was need to go over this. So I think I want to say G-Chef's actually lower bearish times 3. I think of especially since we went and we made this move here. And it's actually no brainer that when we look at what they're doing, right? Just selling off, selling off, selling off, selling off. So looking at where price was at this week. Let's go back to this week. Right, looking at this leg here now, a couple of things. So we know that we're essentially being maintained by this, but retracement is bearish. Yeah, there you go. So we've got bullish. Oh, sorry, this one is higher bullish, but then our retracement is here to here. Okay, and we can essentially see that this is our distro. Price does come into here, but just doesn't come deep enough. It does come into 50% clean. Okay, right there. And then the main thing here is the fact that we go and we make a new low. Bearish. Okay. So for me, essentially this is rinse and repeat. So this whole thing is back on. Yep. So this is where I'll be looking for somewhere around here. This drop. I could place a limit as well on that 80, and then I would have my stop here. Where is that? That's about 16 pips. Okay, because essentially I'm looking for price to make this low, which is about 61, but then essentially come and make a new low here, so about 81. So the target doesn't allow me to make one because remember we could we could come into the 80, accumulate, and then reaccumulate. Okay, because essentially what we've got this is holding our leg. We distribute, redistribute, accumulate to go up. Right, up in here. And I'm not gonna try get into this for about an 8% or no. So I'll rather wait. Let's see if I can reduce it somehow. I like what's in here though. 6, 6, what, 12, 11. Okay, I like that. I like that. What's the 1, 2, 3? Maybe that 42 would have it up. Okay, so this is where I guess I would have to limit then. Yeah, that's a 16 to 1. Okay, so this is where I would have a limit, and then yeah, just above there. So that'll make that in 9. And again, our main target is this, and then our 10 to 1 is here somewhere. Cool. So so that's where I've got my limit, and so again we'll go with 50. Okay, and then 0.05 on that, and then we wait. That 50 is mitigated now. That 50 gets mitigated, but the 80 doesn't. Okay, and we've got imbalance in there as well. Okay, let's just delete this. All right, well, yeah, I'll still have it there because it's the only one that allows me to anyway. And then we pretty much just have to wait for the pullback now. I'm not gonna try get into this buy, not unless I'm in a sell, which I'm not at the moment. So, okay, this was news, right? So news came and tapped us in and filled that imbalance right in there. So let's go back into here. Okay, so news came in and tapped us in. Right, let's see. Let's do that. Okay, let's watch the news happen. Okay, so consolidation, right, and then straight on we get the GBP news. Okay, bang on. We've even got some room for spreads, so we should be good. And it actually comes right down to that freaking 80. Yeah, right down to the 80. Now I'll be looking for these Asian lows as my reduced risk. Asian lows. Okay. And this because we're going to build a portfolio on this. Okay, so we've got that, and then there you go. So we've got reduce risk on this. So again, we've risked $25, and here we're gonna go reduce our risk to about 5. Spreads added as well. So we saved about $11. Risk, return, $11. So we currently got about $14 sitting in here. Okay. Now essentially what we'll be looking for is same play that we like to look for. Come back up into here, and then we're looking for that. Okay. Cool. So let's see if we can find something. So maybe the 30, 32, 34, 33. Okay, so the 45 is what it is. Yep, so we'll throw something on that. We'll throw, let's see if this, that's like 10 pips. It is our 9. We're looking for 10. Yeah, so we're good. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play 25 plus 11 on this. So here we would have got 36 is what's at risk, and we just wait. Now, and again, I will be deleting it. Well, I'm not gonna delete it because once we make this is what's now valid to come back down. So I guess it's when we do that, and if we don't come back enough and then we do this, then I'll delete it. Comes into that 50, doesn't it? Damn, okay. Well, if it now my scenario has changed, right? Because it now coming to that 50. If we go below this, because now this is a redistribution, right? If we go below this and then we do that, then I'll delete it. I'll delete it and I'll put it back on once we break that low. Okay, so we've got that. So essentially this is off the market now. Because we now need to break this. This is what we need to break. Oh, and by the way, yeah, so I might break even here. I might break even here. And I would have paid my risk here as well. Pay risk. So what we would have got is $25. Pay risk. Okay, cool. And then essentially, I guess this will be the re-entry. For now, up until we go and we break that. And that's where we are now. Okay, cool. So price gave us a total of Here it was about an 18-1. Let me do our 10-1 is okay. Damn. Okay, let's just do that one then. TP1 16-1. All right now, and we'll take 25% off as well. So 404 times 25. Okay, so we have with TP1 25%. 101 TP1 16-1 right now. 25%. And at risk is now 0. Okay, because we would have gone to break even. And once we count that, plus 25 plus 11. So here we've got a total of 137 for the week. REDISTRO. Okay, so that was the two, well, the three that I saw were two, the EJ and the GBPCHF, and the oil. But the oil wasn't really anything we could do really. This there. Yeah, but this was the other one right in here, the limit, perfect timing, perfect session, and then boom, off we go. This would have been the other one, but again, it didn't come deep enough to 50. I don't know if the 50 would have been valid. Maybe if we did offset it, that would give you about 61. Yeah. Okay, cool. But yeah, that was pretty much it. So cool. Catch you guys on the next one.